morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us for I believe this is our last part of our social media series. And we are going to be, it is going to be about social advertising fundamentals. We again have our host, our instructor, Miles Davis, the founder of the After LLC, a organization here in Omaha, Nebraska that focuses on digital marketing, development, social media marketing. And so he has been doing a series with us for the last several weeks. I will be putting a link in our chat to our past webinars if you've missed any of them in this series. But today's going to be about social advertising fundamentals. So Miles, take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Like Kim said, I am Miles Davis. I am the founder of the After LLC. We're a digital marketing agency. We specialize in social media marketing and web development. Our goal is to help educate business and nonprofit owners and founders and teams on how to use social media and how to use the website to leverage your organization or your business. This is the final part of our 6-week course, the Beginner's Guide to Social Media Marketing. Today, we're going to be talking about social advertising fundamentals. So we're going to talk about how we can leverage social media ads to grow our business. And I'm just going to give you guys a few tips. I'm going to drop some links for some further resources on how to get these things done. Again, you guys can always email me or contact me if you have any questions after this course. I'm going to drop my email in the chat so you guys have that. Make sure I do panelists and attendees. So feel free to email me and I can help further share some resources with you all or assist you in your social media journey. So we're just going to get started on social media advertising fundamentals. So why run social media ads? So for example, for starters, brand awareness is a huge tool to helping grow a business. When people know about you, then they're more likely to purchase your products or subscribe to your services. And a lot of the time, social media is the go-to place for consumers to do research about products or services. So a lot of people, when they want to know what's the best shoe store if they're on vacation, or if they want to know about restaurants, they're going to go to Instagram, they're going to go to Facebook. So we want to make sure that your presence on those social media channels is robust and allows users to really get an experience of what you have to offer. And so brand awareness is huge on social media. So it's important that we talk about how we can leverage social media ads in order to reach those potential customers. Also, organic reach is declining. So organic reach, because of the algorithms that Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn have put in place as of late, organic reach has again been on the decline. And so it's important that we're going to talk about why it's important that we place specific social media ads so that we're targeting who we want to target and we're not being bogged down by these algorithms. I'm going to drop in our chat a article about the decline of organic reach. It's just a little bit about social media algorithms, and then I'm also going to talk about the engagement rates and how that's on decline. So there's 2 different links that I'm sharing within our chat. Just check those out when you have a chance. The first one is about the algorithms, and then the second one is just a little bit more about the decline of organic reach. So I'm going to drop those both in the chat. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. These are news articles from Social Media Today and Sprout Social, which are highly recognized social media blogs that you can check up on a lot of other things surrounding social media ads on their websites. Let me go back here. Oop, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so you want also social media ads help you specify your audience. This screen grab that I have from Sprout Social just shows you a little screen grab from Facebook Ads Manager. And so it shows you that you can customize your audience, you can choose their location, you can choose by age, by gender, by the language that they speak, and so on and so forth. So it really helps you to create an ad that is not one size fits all. And that's the difference between a lot of traditional media, a lot of traditional advertising, is that you put one ad out and you have a variety of people who are tuned into that, and only a small portion of that are actually interested in buying your products or your services. So it's important that we realize that social media ads helps us to really target specific people that are going to be interested in what we have to offer. So social media ads, why you should run them: one, brand awareness. It helps to get your brand and your business out there. It helps you be more reputable, but also it helps you to specify your audience so that you can reach people who are interested in what you have to offer. So how do social media ads work? And not how they work as far as functionality, but how do they work? How do you get an ROI, a return on investment? How do you get them to work for your business? The first thing you need is a plan. It's important that you have a plan for social media ads. Who do you want to target? What is the goal from that ad? Do you want to make more sales? Do you want to increase brand awareness? Do you want people to subscribe to a newsletter? Make sure that you're specific about your plan, so that you know exactly what you're planning to get out of it, so you can measure your return on investment. Also, it's important to know your audience. Social media ads allow you to target specific users based on their age, demographics, and interest, as I showed you before. So it's important that you know exactly who you're going to target. So before you do that, let's talk about a social media audit. So again, I'm going to drop in the chat how to create a social media audit. A social media audit helps you recognize and helps you to dictate exactly who your audience is and who's following you and being engaged with you on social media. So a social media audit is really important. You want in your social media audit to include information like profile information. So this would be your usernames on or your URLs on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. That way, you know exactly, and people who are working with you know exactly what your official handles are. As businesses grow and as businesses get more notoriety and brand awareness, then lots of different accounts start to pop up under the same name. So just having an account of what your official social media channels are is important, so that if you ever have someone working on your social media, or if you ever have a team, then they know exactly which ones are the official accounts. Also, engagement metrics. So if you have your followers, how many followers you currently have, how many average likes that you get. So how many comments, how many average comments are you getting on each post? Having those engagement metrics really helps you to see where you're at currently, and helps you to really measure if you're growing, if you're being successful on social media. So having those engagement metrics on your social media audit are important to see where you're at. Publishing metrics, audience demographics, referral traffic, channel specific metrics. Those are all things that will be mentioned in this article that I'm sharing with you guys. So I will drop the social media audit. This is again from Sprout Social. There is another social media audit template from Hootsuite that I can share with anyone who is interested. They're pretty much the same. We also have a social media template that's available. when we manage social media accounts. So we also can run a social media audit for you, so that it's accurate. If you're interested in that, you can also email me about a social media um, audit. Sorry, I can't speak this today. Let me drop this in the chat. This is again the social media audit. It'll tell you a little bit more about all of this information that needs to be included, but then it'll also give you a template to get you started. So social media audit is really important so that you know your audience and you know exactly who you're going to be targeting, and how you will target them on social media ads. Setting a budget. So this is really important. There's two types of budgets that you can set on Facebook and Instagram, as well as LinkedIn and Twitter. There's a daily budget, and then there's a lifetime budget. So those are the limits that you can have. If you wanted to do $5 a day on social media, or you could do $5 a week or a month. So you want to, depending on how long you're running your ads, you want to really consider, what is my budget? How much am I willing to spend on brand awareness? How much am I willing to spend on engagements? How much am I willing to spend on conversions or selling products? So you want to be very specific about your budget when it comes to your specific goal. So how much are you willing to spend on each component of continuing to grow your business on social media ads? And then figuring out your budget really takes a lot of trial and error. There's no exact science to advertising when it comes to conversions and making sales. You really have to figure out what works for you. So I would consider running a smaller test, and by smaller, it's relative depending on the capacity of your business, the financial capacity of your business or organization. But I would consider running a smaller test ads first. And that way you can really get a feel for what works, what doesn't, how many conversions I'm getting based off of the amount of money that I'm spending, and if that's realistic for your business or your organization. So really considering setting a budget. And if you're a business that's functioning, I would consider talking with your accountant, talking with, how much am I willing to spend on advertising? Really having a marketing budget is important in your overall business plan, but it's important when you're talking about social media ads, because money can get away from you fast in social media ads. So you want to make sure that you're setting a specific budget so that you can stay on top of things and also measure your ROI, your return on investment. So make sure to set a budget. Okay. So how does social media advertising compare to organic reach? So what does it look like? How does it compare to how it helps you to grow your business? So it looks very similar to an unpaid post. As you can see here, this is just an Instagram feed example. It looks very similar to an unpaid post, but there is a sponsored label. So it will blend seamlessly on all social media channels. Your ads will blend seamlessly into the user's social media feed. The one difference that is important is that you really want to include a few things. One, you want it to be centered around a specific product, service, or promotion. So if you have a sale going on, if you have an event, if you have anything that's specific to a promotion, a product, or a service, you want to make sure you're putting that in your ads. You don't want to just use a social media ad to, for example, on our social media, we post a lot of quotes. I wouldn't boost that post. I would definitely save my ad dollars for the content that is specific to a product, a service, or a promotion. That way, I really can measure my return on investment, and I'm also using it to continue to grow my business in a sense of conversions, or in a sense of engagement. So it's important to make sure that it's centered around those things. Also, you want to include some sort of call to action. There's an example here in the picture. There's learn more. There's a few other call to action, shop now, all of those things. all of those call to actions are important because you want to, again, encourage the user to go further, to look more into your product or your service. So inviting them to do so is definitely necessary when we're talking about conversions, when we're talking about getting people to take the next step and subscribe to your products or your services. So it's important that you add a call to action. Also leading them to a social media landing page. I will drop a link in here about what a social media landing page is. Um, it takes a few steps to set up, so we don't have time to necessarily go into that today, but I will drop a link to talk about what a social media landing page is in the chat, just to give you guys a little bit more background on that. If you have any questions, please feel free. Oh, I missed one. I'm going to drop one about budget too. So this one will be about budget. The first one I'm dropping, how to set a budget, how to know what works for your business. So that will be the first one that I'm dropping in the chat. That one's about budget. And that again is from Sprout Social. And then the other one that I'm dropping is about the social media landing page off of your social media ads. So make sure you guys check that out. If you have any further questions or if you need help setting those things up, we will be happy to help. And I'm going to drop my email. Once again, for anyone who's joined later, I'm going to drop my email. So please feel free to email me and I will get back to you as soon as possible with some additional resources. Okay. So let's talk about what your social media ads goals are, whether that be brand awareness, lead generation, or conversions. This goes down a little bit further from that image that we showed earlier about being able to choose your demographics based off of age, location, all of those things. When you go a little bit lower on that page, you're also able to optimize your social media ad for specific goals. So whether your specific goal is post engagement, whether it's impressions, whether it's brand awareness, it's important to know what that is so that you can optimize the ads for that. That way, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, they show your ad to people that are going to more likely engage in the way that you want them to. So I'm going to also drop a little bit more about the optimization of our ads in the chat as well. But make sure that you're thinking about what is the goal for my social media ad? What am I going to get out of this? And so I'm going to drop that in the chat really quick. Okay, it's not copying and pasting. I will make sure I drop that into the chat before our class is over. And anyone can email me too, and I can share. I have some more resources that I can share as well. I don't know why it's not copying and pasting for my document, but I will make sure that's dropped in there. But the article will go more in depth on all of these optimization tools and why they're important for specific goals. So if your goal was to convert, say you were a clothing shop and your goal was to promote a sale, you probably would want to have it set on clicks. So you want to make sure that it is set on the specific optimization goal so that you have the most bang for your buck. So you have the most people engaging in the proper way that you want them to. So make sure that this is something that you research and really think about when you're creating your ads. So what are the different types of ads that you can have? So one, you can have it in the Facebook feed. The Facebook feed ad would be just anyone scrolling down the Facebook feed. It would seamlessly blend in with everything else. Those are really effective. Also, you can have a right column ad. When someone's on a desktop version of Facebook, there's ads that are positioned on the right side. So you can have an ad that's over there. So when people are engaging with that right column, they're able to see your ads and engage with your ad as well. Instant articles, marketplace, audience network, sponsored message, messenger, in-stream video. There's a lot of different ad types. So really understanding which one will work best for your business, for your organization, for your promotion or your product or your service is important, because you want to place them in the right place and you want to create the right type of ad. This picture that is shown here is about the formats. So these are the size or the placements, but then there's also formats that you can use as well. So you can either choose single image, carousel, which is a collection of images or videos. You can do a single video, you can do a slideshow. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. You can do many different things. You can do a collection of videos and images, and there's a lot of options for creating your ads. And so if you need any help, there is another link that I will share in the chat. This is the link that I was talking about before. So here is the link for optimization, for optimizing your social media ads. And then the link for ad formats. For placement and formats is from medium.com. And I will drop that in the chat here as well. And so please check that out. I want to go back a little bit. Actually, before I go back a little bit and go a little bit more in depth about some of the things that I spoke about, do we have any questions so far? Social media ads, I'm not going to sugarcoat, is a lot. It's a lot you have to do research about before spending your money. So I wanted to do a quick overview about them, and then we can go a little bit more depth into some of the more difficult topics. But I want to know if we have any specific questions before we do that. Difference between boosting and an ad. Boosting and an ad are the same. So boosting, for example, would be an already created social media post that you would turn into an ad. So boosting would turn a social media post into an ad. So there's no difference. You can create ads from scratch, which means they were never a post on your social media channel. Boosting it would turn a post into an ad. Advantages to one over the other. One of the advantages, I think, to boosting is that you already have a glimpse into what the engagement will be like in a larger audience. So if you were having great engagement on a post, boosting it might be a great idea. And I think Facebook and Instagram suggest certain posts that you should boost based off of their engagement rates. So you'd be able to see that this post is doing well and this post is being received well by my community. So let me boost it, turn it into an ad so that more people can see it and more people can engage with it. So boosting kind of gives you a taste of how people will receive it based off of the engagement that it has organically. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to why run social media ads. And we're going to talk about specifying your audience just a little bit more. And so I just want to talk about targeting on Facebook and some of the things that go into how you're targeting on Facebook. So, for example, location. You can target users by state, locality, zip code, county, etc. So, for example, in Omaha, we're in Douglas County. Right now I'm actually in North Carolina, so I'm in McDowell County. So a lot of the ads I've been seeing on Facebook are for North Carolina. So in Omaha, it would be Douglas County. If you wanted to specifically target people within that county, they would be other people who are traveling or visiting locally would be able to see those ads as well. So if you're a restaurant, if you were a local boutique, then those would be certain things that you might want to consider is targeting per county. So when people enter into your area, they're able to see the ads and engage with those on social media. So location is very important, figuring out which specific people you want to target. If you are a local boutique or a restaurant, you might not want to target the entire United States. You might not even want to target the entire city. You might want to specifically target a zip code or a county. So make sure that you're thinking about those things. Demographics as well. So demographics means the data relating to the population. So that's age, sex, income, marital status, et cetera, et cetera. So Facebook has a ton of demographic options. For example, this is important for one of my clients. I work with Noah Brides here in Omaha, Nebraska, and they are a wedding dress shop. So they specialize in creating moments for new brides or brides to be. So marital status would be important. We would want them to be engaged or single. Those are the types of things that we would specifically target that demographic. Most of them would be women. Most of them would have an average median income of $50,000 or more so that they could afford the dress. These are the types of things you really want to be thinking about when you're talking about demographics so that you can really target the specific people that are going to subscribe to your products or to your services. So it's important to know exactly who those people are, and that can be broken down in your social media audit based off of who's engaging with your products or your services now. So demographics are important. Interests are also important. So interests are really helpful when you're thinking about who your target market is. If you have an e-commerce store, say you're selling music, or you're selling records or music downloads. You might want to see the people that are interested in, depending on the demographic. If it's country music, you want to say people who are interested in country music or interested in a specific artist that resembles the music that you're playing. Interested in music downloads or Apple Music or Spotify. Those are the types of interests that you would want to include when you're talking about your target market. So you want to think about everything that they're interested that relates to that topic. For example, the next thing would be behaviors. You can also target people by behaviors. There's a thing called Facebook Pixel that helps you to target users based off of their behaviors. So things that they search on the internet, things that they would search on Facebook, things that they would, if they were to visit your site, things that they would be clicking on your site, they would show ads like that on their Facebook stream after they visited your site. So behaviors are important too. A Facebook pixel is important. I'm going to drop a little information about how to add a Facebook pixel to your website, because that's a really great targeted way to target people on social media. I know you guys have seen that you've searched something on the internet, and then the next time, or you've even talked about it, and then the next time you get on Facebook, there's a bunch of ads that pop up. That would be a Facebook pixel that helps to do that. So I'm going to drop what a Facebook pixel is. If anyone needs help installing that on their website, we would be happy to assist you with that. But a Facebook pixel is really important to tracking user behaviors, and so that you can have targeted ads that they are interested in. All right. Any questions so far? I know, any questions? I'm going to keep going through breaking down your targeted ads on Facebook if we don't have any questions right now. All right. Engagement. So engagement is when someone comments, likes, follows, shares your page. Those are the types of things that are called engagement. So if anyone's recently liked your Facebook post, you can show them ads. Or if anyone is a friend of someone who's liked your Facebook post, you can show them ads. So based off of the engagement on your page, you can choose people who have already shown interest in your page, and you could target them with your ads. So for example, if you were having someone who wanted to sign up for a newsletter, those usually are people who are already interested in the content that you share. So using the engagement tool as a way to narrow down the people that your ad is shown to is very useful when you're thinking about engagement, when you're thinking about sign up sheets, or you're thinking about getting more people to like your page. You would be able to share that with people who already have mutual friends that are interested in your page already, etc. So your engagement's a really great tool for showing ads to people who are already interested in your content, or people who have friends that are already interested in your content. Partner connections. So partner connections is a method of advertising that shows ads based on behaviors users take off Facebook. And this is similar to a Facebook pixel, but this would be partner connections. So for example, if you had a car dealership, then you might search a car, and then you see ads for insurance, or you see ads for how to get a car loan. Those are partner connections. So you can set, if you are a car insurance company or a life insurance company, and someone searches something in that realm, then you're able to use those partner connections in order to promote your products or your services. So if anyone wants to know anything more about partner connections and how to set that up, please email me and I can send you some resources. I don't have any on hand right now that I can share just in the chat, but I do have some resources that I can pull for you guys, and some knowledge I can share with you about how to set up partner connections when sharing ads on social media. And then automatic optimization is the last one. So you can use many demographics. And so you can target. So automatic optimizations, you use the many demographic and target options, and you zero in on an audience that works for your company. So this is something that just Facebook will automatically do for you. It's just automatic optimization. They figure out, based off of your other ads, based off of your engagement on social media, based off of the behaviors, the interests, the demographics, and they automatically optimize your ads for you. I don't suggest this just because it costs more, and your ad dollars will diminish quicker if you're not specific yourself. If Facebook chooses who they show it to, it costs more. So I wouldn't use the automatic optimization. I would definitely do your research and be able to be specific about who you want to target. So that is targeting on Facebook, and it's very similar to Instagram. You can actually, on Facebook Business, on their platform, on their ad manager, you can post from on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. So those targets would be the same. And it's very similar on LinkedIn. I can share more on how to target on LinkedIn if you send me an email. I can share some resources about that, but they're very, very similar, and they have all of the same targeting tools available to you. So those are all of those. I shared the article about ad targeting. Um, Again, this is from Sprout Social, and I'll share that in the chat as well. Yet again. Okay. So again, ads are they're a difficult thing to get to know. I would definitely try it out with a lot of these resources that I've shared. Again, it's a learning curve for everyone that is running ads on Facebook. So again, I would start with a small budget, and I would make sure that we're doing smaller test ads first. Not spending our entire marketing budget on our first ad, but really making sure that we're targeting the right demographic, that they're engaging the way we want them to at first, so that you can really get your feet wet in ads and ad placement. I'm going to pull up the different ad types again. And I'm going to talk a little bit about formats and why formats are important. But before that, do we have any questions on the information I've shared thus far? Any questions? Oops. Another question from Sally. It says, are there resources that help set a marketing budget depending on the type and size of business? There are resources. I think that it's really specific towards to businesses. So I would definitely consider talking to a professional about setting a specific budget based off of your business and your business needs and capabilities. It's very different for each business. So there's some overall general guidance that if you email me, I can share with you, Sally. But it's really specific for each business. Yes. You're welcome, Sally. Okay, I just want to go into the different formats and placements. So first, I just want to go over this list that I have here about what those different placements are. And I shared this article. I shared an article surrounding this with you guys. But I just want to talk about it a little bit. So the Facebook feed. So the Facebook feed shows your audience or your potential customers or subscribers. It shows them your ad on their desktop or their mobile news feed. So when they're scrolling through and seeing their friends and the pages that they like, they'll also see your ad within that. So that's the Facebook feed. The right column, this is the desktop only format. So again, this is what they can see when they're on Facebook on their desktop. They appear on the right side of the Facebook page. And sometimes they may appear in other areas on the site, so footers or things like that. So it depends on where Facebook places them, but usually a right column ad will appear on the right column. So that's a right column ad. Instant articles. So this is mobile optimized. This is only on mobile for Facebook or Instagram. It allows you to distribute fast loading interactive articles to Facebook. So if you need instant articles are something that I don't use often, but they can be useful. So if you want any more information on instant articles, I can share more about that. Marketplace. So this is Facebook Marketplace. It allows, so basically it's the same thing as the news feed. When you're in Facebook Marketplace and people say you search a lawnmower, if you are a store that sells lawnmowers, you can have your ad pop up in that feed as well, so people can buy a new lawnmower from you. So that would be the marketplace ads. In-stream videos. So this allows your ad to appear in live video and video on demand. So when people go to videos, the video section on Facebook, they're able to see your ad when they're scrolling up and down, just like they would on the news feed. But this is when they're scrolling through videos, they would be able to see your ad. Suggested videos. So your ads will be seen in the feed, but they will be seen as a suggested video. So this is again, kind of like in-stream videos, but just a little bit different, just because it allows people to choose certain suggested videos. And so I will share with you guys different types of ads that would be great for using suggested videos. So for example, if you have a YouTube video where you're doing cooking, you might want to target people that are interested in the cooking channel or interested in specific chefs, or specific shows that are catered to the same demographic as yours. And then when they watch a video like that, then your video would come up as a suggested video. So those are types of things that are good. Those are types of content that are good for suggested videos. Instagram stories. So this ad would appear between Instagram user stories. So if someone follows, if the people that you follow, if you click on their Instagram stories, then your ad would appear in between. I know if you're familiar with Instagram stories, you've seen ads appear between people that you follow, and that's where your ads could potentially appear as well. So that would be Instagram stories. Instagram feed, again, that's when they're scrolling through their feed, just like on Facebook. Your ads will be placed in there. I think that is one of the most effective ads, is in the Instagram feed, just because that is where the most people are engaged, or is scrolling through their Instagram or their Facebook. So the feed ads are where I would definitely encourage you guys to start out at, so that you can continue to see what that engagement looks like, before exploring all these other different placements. Audience network, that allows you to appear when your audience views approved audience network sites and apps. So this again would be in, sometimes you would see your ad on different websites or different apps, and that's something that we can go a little bit more in depth with, because that's a little more difficult to choose your demographic when it comes to that, because you really want to make sure that you're appearing on sites and on apps that are in line with your company and your company's mission. So audience network is something that I would avoid for now, but it definitely is useful when it is used properly. Sponsored message. So sponsored messages are target ads to re-engage people who have an existing conversation with your business. Target people you have an existing conversation with on Messenger. So sponsored message definitely would be good for a business like mine. People message me on Facebook all the time, and so a sponsored message would target people that I already have engaged with, and it would send them a Facebook message based off of their engagement, based off of when they're online, based off a lot of different factors. Again, I can share some information about sponsored messages if you need. Just email me and mention sponsored messages in there. And then Messenger, it also allows this type of ads allows your audience to see your ad within the Messenger app home screen. So you're able to post things within the Messenger app that people can engage with. Any questions on the formats? I mean, the placements, because we're going to talk about the formats. Any questions on formats? Okay. Let's talk about formats, and formats are right here. So the carousel, single image, single video, slideshow collection. Single image, it's pretty simple. It's just a picture, JPEG or PNG. The image ratio for a single image is between 916 and 16:9. And the recommended resolution, I think that you should upload it at the highest resolution. So make sure you get the highest picture resolution you can so that it's clear on all screens, because people have different types of phones, and they appear different on every phone. So it's going to appear different on an iPhone than it does on an Android or a Google phone. So you want to make sure you have the highest resolution so that you can appear at the best quality on all devices. You're able to use 125 characters on the single image. That's why it's important to really be sure that you're thinking about the copy as well, so that it's distinct, but also effective, because you only have 125 characters. So you want to make sure everything you're saying within that 125 characters is drawing people to your product or your service. That single image. So if you add a link to that single image, then the image is going to be cropped a little bit because it'll have that call to action at the bottom. So you want to make sure that you're aware of that. So if your image has text on it, that it's not being cut off by that call to action. When you have a link, you have a headline of 25 characters. So you can add a character, and then the copy would be underneath the image. So you have a headline that would say whatever you needed to say, but that only has 25 characters. And then you would have a link description as well that has 30 characters. So for a total of characters that you would have for that one post, you would have 125 for the copy, but then you would have 55 including the headline and the link description. So you want to be deliberate about what you say in each one of those so that they're effective and get people to convert. Single video. So the video ratio is 916 to 16:9, just like the single image. Your file size can only be 4 gigabytes at max. So sometimes that changes depending on the quality of the video, the amount of minutes you have. You have a 240-minute limit length maximum. However, if it's 4K, then it's going to take up gigabytes a lot faster. So it might only allow you to get 100 minutes or 120 minutes. Just depends on the file size. I do suggest, again, to have the highest resolution as possible. It does affect the file size and the ratio limits. However, I would definitely try to get the highest resolution so that it shows up the best on each platform, on each device. So the minimum for the video length is 1 second. The maximum is 240 minutes. And then you can do captions. I would recommend captions because a lot of people view videos on social media silently. So I would definitely get captions so people can follow along with what's being said in the video. So they're optional, but recommended. Video sound as well. There's a lot of people, as far as accessibility goes, that cannot see your video ads. So video sound is definitely optional, but recommended as well when we're thinking about accessibility. Text, again, there's 125 character text limit. So that is without a link. So with a link, you also have, again, the headline, which is 25 characters, and you have a link description, which is 30 characters. So you have a total with a link of 180 characters that you can use within that ad. The carousel. So your maximum number of cards, your minimum number of cards in a carousel is 2, and your maximum number is 10. So this works really well if you were a clothing boutique and you have multiple items on sale. You can promote your sale, and you could have up to 10 items that will show with specific links for each. So again, the image file type would be JPEG or PNG. And you can also add videos as well. There's a lot of different video formats that are supported. But again, the maximum file size will be 4 gigabytes. So it's the same parameters as the single video. But you can add multiple different ones as well up into that. And each one of them would have the capacity to be uploaded to up to 4 gigabytes and up to 240 minutes. The image maximum file size will be 30 megabytes. Again, most images are less than that, so you should be fine. So I don't think that's something you would have to worry about. Again, the character limits are similar, but a little bit reduced for the link description. So text as far as the copy that goes under the ad would be 125 characters still. The headline would increase to 40 characters, but the link description would decrease to 20 characters. So you would have 185 characters altogether, but there's a little bit of a change in there. The slideshow it has the same parameters as a single image. However, you can add many different images, up to 10, I believe. So same thing as the single image, but up to 10 images in the same post. A collection. So a collection includes a cover image. So this would be a top image that is longer, but then would have multiple different images underneath it or videos. So the cover image can be an image or a video, same parameters as a single image or the single video. However, you can have a headline that's 25 characters, and then the text actually decreases on a collection, the text underneath the image to 90 characters. So that's Facebook and Instagram ad types and ad formats. Any questions? Lorraine said, you said 4 gigabytes. Yes, 4 gigabytes, and that's going to be the video capacity. So that'll be the video capacity for single videos or slideshows or collections. So 4 gigabytes is correct. Any other questions? That's all I have for you guys today. As far as social media ads, I do have some additional resources again that I can share with you all. It can seem a little bit overwhelming, a lot of information. So please feel free to send me an email. I shared that again in the chat. Check out our website. We are dropping blogs about this weekly. Not specifically about social media ads, but the social media marketing experience altogether. So please feel free to subscribe to our blog so that we can continue to help you on your journey of promoting your business or organization on social media. Any questions? And here's all of our information as well, if you need help with anything. Our phone number, email, website. And Kim just dropped, you're welcome, Kelly. Kim just dropped, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us on this 6-week course. Stay tuned for more dates. You're welcome. Please leave a review at Do Space. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. Hopefully you joined all of our webinars with Miles. If you didn't, again, I posted the link to our YouTube channel that has all of our past ones. And yeah, please make sure you're checking out our DoSpace website to see any other webinars that you might like to see in the future. Also, we've just recently launched a, I think I talked about this last week. I can't remember if I did or not. Kind of like a site that like works with libraries to help promote our programming. And if you attend any of our programs, you can make an account. It's called Beanstack, and our site is dospace.beanstack.org. You can make an account for you and your family. Everybody in your family can have an account with them. And when you attend our programs, attend our webinars, you get badges. When you get those badges, you get tickets, and then you can basically put those tickets in for prizes to be drawn. And we have prizes, I think, every month, I believe. So yeah, if you're interested in do that, please make an account with Beanstack, dospace@beanstack.org. And Miles, thank you so much for doing this series with us. We really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll do something with you again in the future. So thank you, Miles.
Yes.
Thank you all of our attendees, and we will see you again soon. Have a good rest of your day.
Everyone. Have a